Hello, my name is Vita. I'm a homemaker and this is Hippie Crow Hub. Hello, my friends. I wanted to share a couple of items that I plan to upcycle, refresh, restyle, and all these crazy words you can put onto a thing like this. Okay, so just a little heads up about my channel, and I started off making YouTube videos as a homemaker generally, and I was sharing all sorts of different topics, kind of trying to find my niche or maybe most popular topic or a theme. And I was just going with it because that's what I am and that's what I do. I'm a homemaker and I do all of these things all the time at home that I was sharing in the past. But recently I learned that the audience really likes my upcycling old clothing and textiles videos. So I'm going to make more of these videos from now on. And once in a while I might throw in something that I want to share with you too that is a little bit different, but still got something to do with homemaking and what represents me and my life. Okay, so let me share a couple of textiles here. So I'm still a homemaker and I still do these things every day and I love doing it, and this is my choice and my lifestyle. Okay, something about fashion trends and clothing. Okay, I don't chase fashion. I do like to keep an eye on what's trending just for entertainment. Now, do I ever go into the shop and buy a new collection item? Never. Seriously, I don't think I have ever done that because I feel it's quite expensive, and also something that is a new collection now in a month will be no longer a new collection because there will be a new collection that's out, and then you'll feel like you no longer have something new and it's already ready to be thrown away. So I don't want to play that game. You can never win. And if some people can afford that and they buy really expensive clothes, and that's great. Good for you. Keep on doing that. But I'm sharing what works for me. So that's one of the reasons why I love thrifting. I love vintage clothing. I love to use old textiles and turn them into something different and something new. I like to say I like to give it a second chance and a new life. Okay, so I also have a lot of fun doing this. Since I was a kid, I used to love tailoring. I used to, instead of playing with the dolls, I used to make clothes for the dolls, and that was my game. And I guess I'm tuning more with to be honest, you know, I tell my husband, oh, recently I've been doing all these things, and my husband says, but you've always done this, and it's so true, because I don't always make a video about doing that, so it feels like now is my focus. But to be honest, my lifestyle was like that. Every time I have a pair of pants or t-shirt, I might adjust it, I trim a length, because a lot of times clothing doesn't fit me 100%. I'm tall. I'm 1 meter 76 centimeters tall. Also, I have very long legs, and my torso is not that long in a proportion. So if I buy something in a tall section, the leg length might work, but then from the inseam up to the waist, I have way too much material, and that just throws off the shape. A lot of times when I buy dresses, the waist, the dress supposed to have a waist on the waistline, but the waist for my body shape ends up here if I buy medium, which is normally my size. So I'm forced to buy large to extend the length, but then if I buy large, the outfit is too big. So either way, I still have to adjust and tailor it, or try to work and play with the shapes by adding a belt or just seeing what I prefer on what outfit. So it's been the story of my life. Maybe most people can relate to that, I don't know, but I always alter my clothing just by little bits. So here it is. I'm gonna share all the crazy things that I do, and I have a pile of clothes today that I'm gonna talk through with you to share my thought process of what I think when I have a piece of clothing and I wonder, Am I gonna wear it like this? Is it worth keeping it? Do I have to do something with it? Because another thing I don't love to do is I don't like to store stuff and clothing in my wardrobe that I'm not gonna use. I hate that. I hate clutter, and I always like to rotate things and clean up my closets and really ask myself, am I going to use this, or do I need to change it and turn it into something else, or do I need to donate it? And that way my home has space, and I do have limited space in my home, so doing that, it makes sense. And I hate having clutter, and when I clean up, I feel so good and refreshed. And also I do get to enjoy enough of open space even in a small home that we have. Okay, so let's start with this dress. Okay, I'm gonna get up for this so you can see better. All right, so this dress is from Marks and Spencer's. I don't know if you know that brand. Is very popular in England, and I used to live in England. My mom lives in England, and I got it from my mom. She was cleaning out her wardrobe, and she knows that I like to do this, so she gave me a whole suitcase full of her stuff. So this dress, like this, cute, but I don't really think I'm going to wear it like this. I do love the top part. It has this vintage look, this squared shoulders, and I think I would love it as a top. I totally see myself, if I crop this top, I'm gonna wear it with high-waisted jeans, tucked inside, pair of pants. Definitely gonna be useful for me. Now, if I wait when I'm gonna wear this dress, it's also, you can't really see it, but it's a knee length. I don't think I'm going to wear it. So I'm gonna turn it into a top, and I'm probably gonna trim it slightly like circled for the nicer shape instead of just completely square. That will make it easier to tuck it into the pants so I don't have bulking on the sides. And the material is pretty thin, so all I'm going to do is I will zigzag and I'll fold, and I'll do one simple stitch over it. All right, so that's simple hack number one. Another dress, same thing, got it from my mom. And this one has it's Christina Gavioli collection. Have no idea what it is, I don't really care. But it looks like it's a very nice quality, and it definitely has a vintage vibe. And I do like the color. It has this nice accent here on the top, and the back is just very simple and plain. Now, the problem with this dress is that it's very sheer, and when I put it on, it fits me really nice, and it does have a nice cute shape. But the problem is that I know myself, like, I will need a summer to wear this, first of all, because I don't see it really working with tights and boots. The material is not that right of material, not correct material for that kind of outfit. And if I wear it on just underwear, I know that when I sit down somewhere and then it's hot and it gets sweaty, and I'm gonna get up and I'll have this like a weird sweat patch on my butt. All material is gonna like stretch out, and it's gonna like be showing my underwear. I don't want that happening, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm also gonna turn this into a top. I'm gonna do a simple cut. I won't do a crop top, which I thought about doing, but I'm really into, you know, kind of like high-waisted jeans and a top like this tucked inside the jeans, and maybe a little cardigan on top for like a fall. So this will be my thing. So I am originally, the bottom of this dress has just like a zigzag over it, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna crop and zigzag over it, and I'll see how it looks. I'll also check what other stitches I have on my sewing machine. Maybe I need to experiment a little bit with that. But either way, like I said, I plan to tuck it inside the pants, so it doesn't really matter, but the top is really cute. I really like it. Okay, and I don't know if I mentioned that already, I'm not a fashion guru, so this is what I like. I prefer style over fashion and trends now, even when I do get myself updated once in a while on what's trending, like the ruffles or blazers. I go, oh great, blazers are in, and then I'll get myself a vintage thrifted blazer and I'll be like, well, I like it. All right, so you see where I'm getting at. And I think a lot of people do that now. It's kind of a movement and a trend to recycle and upcycle textiles, and fashion and sustainability is a thing. And I'm a big supporter of that, okay? So here we go, another one, another item. Okay, I'll start with these. These two, I actually used half of this. This was a dress. This is the inside. I used half of this dress for my other outfits that I made already, and the videos are there, so check it out. And it was a very cute dress. The why I decided to cut it up, I already wore it for a couple of years to start, and from washing and drying, the material started shrinking a little bit, and this started happening. The underlayer started sticking out, and I could iron it, I could trim it, but because I'm also tall, and I mentioned that, the dress, the waistline started rising up like this, and it just didn't feel right, and it started feeling a little bit short, and so I figured this is it for the dress. So, and I always invent new things, so why not? So what I'm going to do from this, I'm gonna use the top as a base for another skirt. Now, I don't know 100% yet how I'm going to do that, but I think I'll figure it out as I make it. So it's gonna be like a wrap skirt, but I'm gonna cut around here, and I'm gonna add another material in it, and I'm gonna invent some sort of other bottom layers using this old denim shirt, which also wore just way too much. I'm just done with it, and it's also getting little rips on some parts, so I'll have to remove that. So I'm going to combine this and that together somehow. We'll figure it out. And I might add some of extra of this material, which I'm so excited about. Okay, so this is a curtain, an old curtain. And I got this textile in a thrift, and I really like it. And look at this. This might be handmade. I'm pretty sure this is handmade. I don't know if you can see, look at all these tiny little stitches. So there's 2 layers of material, and then the top material has these cutouts, and then beautiful embroiderment. And this is really nice. And seriously, if I had different type of windows, I would totally use it as a curtain, or just like, but my windows have blinds, and I don't want to block out my windows because I like to use the window shelf for my plants. So sorry, you are going to have to change. So this is a large piece, so I'm probably going to use some of it to add into that layered skirt that I'm going to make. I also want to make a top out of this, and I might use some of these thicker parts for like a belt off my top of this, for the top of the skirt that I'm going to make. And also I have this idea how to make a cute little artsy decoration out of this. It's a very simple hack, and I'm gonna show it to you once I start cutting up the material. Okay, and 2 more items. Okay, so first of all, these things, now I change and rechange my clothes more than once. So I will wear something for maybe a couple of times, 5 times. If I really love something, I'll wear it for longer. And then at some point I'll change it again. So let me show you. So these were a pair of jeans that I wore for quite a while, and I really liked it. They were high waist and kind of wide, you know, vintage, very vintage looking jeans. And then they started feeling a little bit boring. I think maybe my body shape changed a little bit. I might have lost a little bit of weight, and I started to feel that they are too baggy, or just not enjoying the shape anymore. So just a little while ago, what was trending, or is still trending maybe, I didn't check, were maxi skirts like this. So I turned those old vintage jeans into a skirt like this. And you know what? It was, and still is, a really nice skirt. And this is a very simple hack. You just split open the inseam and you layer it and stitch, and that's it. And I left the edges even fraying, so that was like so simple. And I wore it a couple of times already, and it was great. But now fall and winter is coming, and I don't think I want to keep it for the next summer. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done with that. So I'm going to cut this up, and I'm going to keep useful denim scraps for another patchwork project that I plan ahead of myself, okay? So here. So this will be upcycling number 3 on the same item. Also, these jeans. Okay, these are nice jeans. I bought them last year. And again, I bought the size way too big for me, because I already know my body shape. I've got like smaller hips, smaller waist and bigger hips and long legs. And I might not look super awkward to you here, but when I put the clothing on, it usually doesn't fit properly. So I bought it bigger size because I knew I want nice wide long pants. But what happens with that? The hips fit, the thighs fit, length fits, but what doesn't fit is the waist. So I end up, everything's working out great, and then the waist is like this. And I can't even put a belt on it because it's just gonna be all bumpy and crazy. So what I did, and I also was buying it on sale, so that was another reason. What I did was, I did this crazy stitch, and I was wearing it with a longer top, so nobody was able to see that. And now it's ripping already because I was wearing it for a while. And then I removed the pockets because pockets were shriveling up kind of thing and getting bulky. So I removed these, and I made these jeans into kind of like a funky, grungy look. I also trimmed the bottoms later after I wore them long because I got bored with that. And then I thought I'll have like an ankle length. So I chopped off the tops, and that chop is already turned into something else. So I used the scraps. But now I'm just bored of these jeans, and also as I'm wearing it, you know, after a while the material starts to be like stretchy and then gets like awkward and bulky. So that's what's happening with this denim. And it's time to cut these up and turn it into something else. So I'm going to just prep my patches for the next patchwork project. But that will be for the next video. I'm gonna focus on these things for now. All right, and another thing I want to share. I bought this beautiful woolen scarf in a thrift store for like, I think $2. And it's so beautiful and such a good quality and real wool. And I thought maybe I can like cut it and make it like a, you know, if I open it here in the middle, and I can make a neckline so I can wear it like a over, like a poncho, whatever it's called. But then I thought I don't want to ruin it. It's just too nice. Look at this beautiful piece of material. So I invented, well, probably didn't reinvent the wheel, but I'll share a couple of ideas of how you can use such a thing in different ways without cutting it up. Okay, so I'm gonna add a belt. I am going to flick the material from the back, one side, and then the other side to the other shoulder. Since the fall is coming closer, seriously, here in Ontario, the fall, it's supposed to be the beginning of the fall, but September has been still so warm. So we're still almost like in the summer dresses, but in the morning, it gets still a little bit chilly. So sometimes you need something like this, okay? So I folded the top like a collar, and I'm just tucking in these edges into the belt like that. Here we go. This is without cutting it. So if I'm taking kids to school in the morning and I just want something to cover up the shoulders, to stay a little bit warm, here, easy. All right, another way is to just toss it over your shoulders. Just like that. I also like to roll it a little bit on the top. Crisscross here. Grab your belt. Ay! Here we go. Okay, this is another easy way you can wear something like this. And then if you're done, you just take it off, right? And of course you can just wear it as a scarf or wrap it up like this. I find that it falls off often, so you still have to tuck it in, or even do this. There you go. But it gets bulky here, so that's why the belt idea comes in handy. Okay, so this is my little fall crush that I have. And I'll fold it neatly. Okay, so let's get cutting and sewing. Thank you for listening, and the video is not done yet, so let's get to the fun part. Alrighty, so I chopped up these jeans. So this is my waist. I removed all the double stitching because it's really hard to work with it. I cut out all the possible good textile shapes. I haven't trimmed it to the exact shape that I want it to be because I will get to that when I actually do the project. I saved this cute little pocket. This can be a nice decoration. This is my other pair of jeans textiles. And I also felt like I want to keep this. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I'm going to keep it just in case I want to use it as some decoration, or maybe a bag or a belt or a strap. Who knows? But for now, I feel like I want to keep it because it has potential and also has a nice vintage Lee tag. And sorry, vintage, you had to be destroyed. This pair of jeans already had many rips and tears and wearing out, and the elastic wasn't proper anymore, so they really want that useful anymore regardless. So they are going to, the textile will still have another chance to live longer. Okay, so let's keep moving. Okay, there goes the dress. We gotta chop it. So I just used my tiles to just align the edges to know that I'm doing it straight-ish. I think this part is still a little bit higher, so I gotta extend that here. And then I'm just going to cut it. And for now, that's it. Okay, the chop is done, and I'm going to save this for future. Who knows what I'm gonna use it for. And this will just go over with the sewing machine. All right, and this dress, I'm cutting it up. Like I said, I'm gonna go for a little bit of a circle kind of oval shape in the bottom, just so that it's easier to tuck it into the pants. And all these white little bits are the scraps from the denim that I just cut up, so that will just be shaken off soon. So what I do, the first part I just cut, and then I fold the other half onto the other side. That way I can immediately just see the even line, and then I just follow that. And that way it's very easy to cut it without having to use rulers and all this crazy. There you go. And I think I'm just gonna go over it with a simple black zigzag. And to be honest, this material, I don't think it frays. To be honest, I think it can be left just like that. Oh, I think I'm just literally going to do that. I leave it as it is because, like I said, I was planning to wear it with a pair of high-waisted jeans, and I'm going to tuck it in because I like the vintage style looking top. And this bit I am going to leave, of course, for future projects. Boom, there you go. There's a pile of future projects coming up. Time to figure this out. So I'm going to cut the shirt first, removing all the corners so that I can just have the clean textile, and then I'll figure out how I am going to use this material. I think I'm gonna cut here, and then I'm gonna add a layer of blue material, and then I might use this, or I might not. I might end up, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I might cut this off here, then add a layer of that green material, this one, and then after that, I'm gonna use the blue material in the bottom. Let's see how that can work. Hello, and there's me, chop chop, lots of chops. I love using the floor for that because I have all the space in the world. All right, I think you know how to use the scissors, so I just get on with it. Alrighty, this is starting to make more sense. Okay, so I mentioned before that this gorgeous textile maybe will go in between the two materials because of the color. I thought the darker in the bottom kind of thing, but I realized that this is very sheer, and also the trim is quite high up, so I don't want the see-through material right under my butt. So when I bend over, all my private bits will be showing. So we're gonna change it up, and we're gonna add that at the very bottom. So I cut up all the shirt, and I am going to construct the belt from all these little scraps. So it's like a cute detail on the top with a little bit of blue. I removed the buttons, and this is from the buttons, these two. So this is nice and firm for tying up, and this I will just construct out of the scraps and add it for the color continuation, and it will be double material, so it's okay that it's nice and soft. This is denim imitation, but it's really thin material, just like this one. It feels like cotton textile. Well, actually it is cotton. And okay, so I removed the ruffles of this skirt, even though I like the ruffles, but I wanted to have like chunky colors of this long wrap skirt. So I left the inside of a textile. That always comes in handy. So I'm going to also construct all these random pieces. I'm going to join them together so I have this one long patch to add on to this top skirt. And then after I do that, I'm going to sew a long line of this gorgeous material in the bottom. So it won't be about a lot of ruffling. It will be more about layering. So the skirt is going to become a little bit wider naturally because the base of the skirt is already in a kind of triangular shape, and so it is going wider, and you need that for a wrap skirt. Or it's just more comfortable, so then the bottom is not splitting open too much as you're walking or sitting down. Also, these were the ruffles. I don't think I'm going to need to use that for this skirt. I think the 3 layers will be just right. I removed these hooks from the top of the curtain, and I'm gonna save them because they will make great straps for when I sew a top out of this gorgeous textile. I keep saying gorgeous textile because look at this. It is stunning textile that I got for just a couple of dollars, and it's so unique, beautiful color, cotton. If you wanted to buy this new, it would cost so much. And this is just my waist. I'm gonna toss that out. This might also be a scrap for the future projects. We will see. I might need to add that, maybe not. So I'll just put these on the side for now. And as you can see, when I start my project, I have a general idea of what I'm going to do, but I don't know the details because as I cut up the material, I need to combine it like a puzzle to see what will fit and work, right? So now you're getting the idea of what is going to happen. And I'm gonna save these little buttons. You never know if you might need it. All right, so let's get moving to sewing. And just for fun, I wanna share with you guys this beautiful case that I bought in a thrift for it was like $11 or something. The clips were working and the code was fine. And I decided to use this as a case for my sewing machine. Ta-da! Here I am, just popped this top on to show how it turned out, and I think it's super cute. Like I said, I'm probably gonna wear it with pants or maybe under the skirt with tucked in, just in case. I did want to finish it a little bit nicer, and this is how it turned out. I did end up folding because the zigzag didn't look amazing on the outside, and also this side, and then I did 2 straight stitches on the top to keep it together. So if I do want to wear it like this, I can if I have to. Okay, so now my sewing machine, like originally when you have professional clothing, and there are better types of stitches for finishing these kind of textiles, but my sewing machine is not the most amazing. It's not a professional grade. I think it's more like a hobby sewing machine. The brand is good though. I have no complaints about that. I just didn't pay a lot of money at the time when I bought it, and it still works, so I don't want to waste the item. So I'll still use it. But who knows, maybe in the future I'll get lucky to be sponsored by a nice fancy sewing machine. Let's see what happens. Okay, and there is this top. I'm just gonna pop it over on the top of my top because I can't be bothered getting changed so much. Okay, so this was originally a dress. And there you go, nice and snug. And you see that the line here, it just looks a little bit nicer and more feminine. So now I can wear it just like that, but I also can wear it inside the pants. and this won't be bulking. And this material doesn't even fray, so I decided to do nothing. I just trimmed it. And like you can see, this is a really cute vintage shoulders and perfect simple little top. See, so much potential in our old-fashioned cuts, right? Alrighty, time to patch this. So as you can see, this already has this triangular kind of shape. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna fold it like this, and I'm gonna sew a straight line, and I'm gonna do zigzags with both materials at the same time, okay? And all these imperfections you can just trim off after you sew. As long as you sew in a straight line, it's very easy to trim after, and when you open it, it will still be together in the right shape, okay? Zigzag. All right, and we open it, and you see it's in the right shape. We have the stitch, but the stitch is gonna be all crazy and going everywhere, but the color will be even, so it won't matter. It will just add it a little bit of personality. It's all about upcycling and using the scraps, right? Okay, I connected all of this together, and like you can see, it's all at different angles because all the shapes were random, but I stuck it up in the way where it connects into a line. Because if I would cut, if I would have to cut everything into squares, I would lose a lot of textile. That's why I do it like this, okay? Now, before I stitch this one onto that material, I am going to try to construct the top. Alrighty. I'm also gonna sew this together in a way where it makes sense, so to make the right shape. So as you can see, I'm just following certain types of shapes to create the whole line, just like a puzzle, really. Like I said before, I'm playing puzzles with textile scraps. Now that I attached all these scraps together into this line, all these shapes are gonna get trimmed off after. So I wanna attach this onto the skirt to create a belt. So I am going to fold this way, and I'm gonna sew it close to this line all the way around. Where am I? Here. Like that. So I'm gonna sew all the way, and then I'm gonna fold it up. And then after, I'll fold the other top and then stitch together, but I'll show you again. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, I sewed it together like this, and this is what I meant. So when you fold it up, you're gonna have all of that like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fold this in. I'm gonna connect it together in the back and gonna sort out this mess. So I'm gonna trim this material a little bit. I'm gonna leave this textile because I'll need that for the strength to hook it together. Okay? All right, I did some pinning here, and I added these straps. I hand pinned the edges here because I didn't want to risk breaking a needle on my sewing machine, but I will use a sewing machine to go all the way up to the parts where it doesn't have so many bumps. Like this part is really bumpy, but I didn't want to remove it because then it will complicate like this connection. So I added some pins so that when I sew it doesn't get bumpy. I extended this here because I need that side to be longer because it will wrap around, because this will still pierce through this little hole here that originally was there for a wrap skirt. And now I'm just going to go over the sewing machine here in the middle, and then one more just close to the edge so that it has nicer finish. And as you can tell on this side, it has this nice belt. Alrighty. Okay, so we've done the top. As you can see, there's the blue belt. This is the underskirt that's gonna get covered up. And it pierced through the side and it tied up in the back. And I have the fold here. Perfect. The top is constructed. Now we gotta attach a second layer on the bottom. Also just finishing up the edges of the side of the dress before I attach this. Let me talk a little bit about the skirt. So in the end, I decided, good news or bad news, I don't know. I decided not to add this material on this. I just felt like it's just gonna be too much, and I really felt like it is cute like this because then I can wear it with a crop top or a t-shirt tied up on the side. Now I just put it over my regular clothes. And now the length, like I was complaining that the underskirt was sticking out, now the length is just a little bit longer than the original design. Has a high waist. It is above my knees, so it's not like super granny, but at the same time it's a comfortable length because I don't like skirts too short because I like to be able to move around and I don't want to worry about like my butt sticking out in the wrong time or generally. So I'm going to like it like this, and I decided to keep it like this because these two colors kind of look nice together. And sorry, maybe you can't see very well with this t-shirt over it, but there's a bit of denim here and here is the yellow cloth, yellow the squared textile. All right, so I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. I'll see how I feel. I'll wear it a couple of times. Maybe I'll decide to do something else to it. Maybe I'll end up trimming a little bit of it, but really for the comfort reasons, I don't want to trim it. And I'll leave it like that. Also, here in the end, what I did, after I sewed these textiles together, I trimmed it, I zigzagged it, and I did another stitch here to flatten out this bit so it's not bulking up. Also, I folded the very bottom part. Okay, and here are the straps. I can take it off and show you. Inside it's a little bit messy, but I didn't have that much textiles, but it doesn't matter because that's the inside part. Okay, and on the outside it looks like this, and it got a little bit wonky, so I didn't do a perfect stitch here because there was some bumps and I was just maneuvering around to try to flatten out this mess here. So overall, I'm pleased with the result because like I said, it's all scraps and stuff putting it together, and it's very cozy. I'll probably wear it just outside casual when I go pick up my kids from school, and that's that. But because I did promise to do something with this material, I'm still gonna make a top, and I'm still gonna show you that cute little hack that I plan to do with that textile. Okay, so hold on. I think this video is getting a little bit long, but I'll try to squeeze it all in, okay? It's day 2 of me making this video now. I ran out of time to make a top the other day, but now I'm back with it. And I've been breaking my brain thinking, what type of top I want to make out of this material, because I really like the material and I want it to be something useful throughout the year, not just summer, but in the fall and the spring. Oh, my coffee is boiling. Never mind the noise. So right now what I did, I just folded it into 2 pieces and it's here, and I really want to use this textile efficiently without having to trim and chop too much. So I am thinking that I'm gonna use this. I'll cut this out for the head, and then I'll keep the sleeves, and I'll just do this wide kind of simple hippie square easy top, which the sleeve edges will already be finished because I'll trim it out like that, and all I'll need to do is stitch the sides and finish up the bottom, because the pattern is so nice like this. And because remember, I also mentioned I want to do a quick little hack. I will use that hack for the neck middle part. So let me get to that. Alrighty, these wooden hoops, they are embroidering hoops. I had them lying around and I don't do too much embroiderment. Well, I used to as a child, but it's not really my thing nowadays. But what I want to do is I want to cut out this piece here and turn it into a cute wall decoration, and that will give me what I need for the neck, for the top. So let me just go with it. Okay, so this will go in the bottom, aligning it, because this is such a beautiful textile, and this is a very easy hack to make some new decorations at home. And you can use thrifted textiles, you can use ready crochet pieces, you can use nice and colorful textiles. There. Okay, I don't want to cut too far away, maybe just a couple of centimeters, because I don't want to ruin the entire textile. Okay, so I'll start around here, but you need to cut enough to go around to tuck the textile at the back, right? Okay, now I'm gonna get a yarn and a needle, a thread, to pierce it around. Turn it upside down, and I will simply gather all the material just by doing this. In, out, in, out. Gonna rouge it in. All right, this is literally all I did. I cut out a beautiful textile, I put it inside the hoop, I shrunk the textile at the back to tuck it in. Here, easy decoration. I'll use the smaller one for the different pattern, and that's all it takes to have a tiny little cute decoration. I will now somehow construct the top with these leftover straps that I had. And as you can see, that was like the middle of the textile that I cut out for that artwork, but I was gonna cut out the neck neckline anyway. And seriously, for this one, I had too many ideas, so it's extra tricky for me to figure out. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do the simple, boom, boom, bam, done. But I kept thinking and double guessing, and I wanted like this and like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this one. I'm just gonna wing it and let's hope for the best, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do first. I'll construct the neckline to make sure that it actually works out before I cut the rest of the textile, and then I can put it on as a giant square before and then see where I wanna cut it, okay? I pinned these around and I stuck them like this. This is probably gonna be the back of it. I'll see how it works out. And for this section, I removed the bottom of the textile, but I gotta make it matching width of this. So I open this up and I'm going to fold it in and sew it in the same width as the other one, so I can construct the rest of the line. Like that. Okay, let's pin this before. So this is where iron would really come in handy. I really gotta get one. I think I'm gonna get a mini iron. All right, but I did fold it by hand for now, and I'm gonna fold it in like this. Just gonna check. Yes, perfect width. Maybe just tiny little bit more in, just by a millimeter. And I'm gonna start pinning it, and then gonna run it with the sewing machine. Yes, perfect match. All right, there's always a way. There's a will, there's a way. All right, and the sewing machine will totally flatten it all out. All right, simple line stitch here. Here we go. The yarn is wide at the back, so I'm going to use this as a top. So I went with exactly the same pattern. I did chop these into pieces, and I'm going to try to stitch it in the most neat way that I can possibly. So I know it's a little bit crazy, but this is the best I could come up with right now. And let's see what happens. You know when it's one of those days where you don't really have your crap together? I think today is one of those days. I just realized that I ran out of white yarn, and all the yarn that I have is kind of like gray or dark. And oh man, okay, but I still have some white yarn under the machine, but to make it white on top, and fingers crossed I have enough left, I'm gonna have to stitch it the other way around. Like this is the inside part of it. So the gray yarn will be on the top here in the inside of the clothing, and basically wish me luck. Let's see if it works out. I think it's working. It's working. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. I gotta pull even the needles and from underneath, because I didn't plan that. And luckily the textile is sheer, so I can see where the edge is. There's always a way. Literally, hallelujah. So this was a crazy kind of ride. I'm gonna finish these off when I buy white yarn because I don't want to keep like going crazy with this gray yarn inside since I ran out of the white yarn. So I had to work with what I had. I did a fold here in the center for this little fun. It looks like a church gown right now, but hey, let's keep going. Wish me luck. Ta-da, cut it out. Okay, let's stitch it. Now it's starting to make sense, right? Okay, I'll turn the top inside out, so I'm going to do a straight stitch here and then zigzag on the edges. Now the gray yarn doesn't matter anymore because that is going to be inside. And luckily the sleeve's already done up because that was just the edges of the textile as it was. Here is what's left, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make another top out of it, but that's fun another time. There are really nice pieces still, and maybe something more simple. We'll see. So we got really crafty this time. So this is how I upcycle and refashion, refresh, renew, whatever you want to call it, textiles and old clothing, and I always like to make a use out of something before I even get rid of it. I really want to make sure I don't just toss good things in a garbage bin. And also, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for everyone who has already subscribed and liked my other videos. I got so many compliments in my previous summer making dress. Also, Murphy's Law, I had a little editing fail. I had a camera way too close to my face and the microphone was picking up my breath, so it was a little awkward, but the video was still super liked and it's still being viewed, and I'm really happy about it. That just shows that the content is most important part and not just like amazing editing, which is also important and good, but as a homemaker I'm doing all of this by myself, so you can imagine I'm learning as I go. And like I said, all the mind-like people who I'm meeting here is just giving me so much joy that my skills and ideas and creativity is being appreciated. So alrighty, every Monday there's gonna be a new video popping up, and I will stick to this type of theme, and love and peace to all. Mwah! Bye! And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit a like and a comment if you have suggestions, or even what you think about the sound or the picture. Please let me know. I am always willing to learn, and it does help. Okay, bye.